Why do we still read Goethe and Faust after 200 years? Among the greatest literary works in history, Faust stands as one of the most challenging to read. Written entirely in verse, it unfolds as a dramatic poem with over 14,000 lines, a staggering 90,000 words, encompassing Goethe's lifetime of philosophical, literary, religious, and aesthetic thought. The text is laden with Western literary references, making it nearly impossible to understand without extensive annotations. Even among native Germans, few have the patience to read it in its entirety. And yet, despite its difficulty, Faust remains the most celebrated work in German literature. Goethe conceived the idea for Faust at just 25 years old and spent nearly 60 years completing it, only finalizing the work at age 82. Over these decades, he created one of the most profound human characters in literature, Faust himself, and one of the most legendary depictions of the devil, Mephistopheles. The story of Faust, a simple plot, a profound journey. Though Faust is notoriously difficult to read, its core story is surprisingly simple. Faust is a highly accomplished scholar in late medieval Europe, having earned doctorates in philosophy, law, medicine, and theology. In short, he is a genius. Yet, for all his learning, he finds no meaning in life. The more he studies, the more he realizes the infinite nature of knowledge and the limits of human understanding. No matter how much he learns, he sees only illusions, never the absolute truth. Frustrated and despairing, he even contemplates suicide. At this moment, the devil appears, Mephistopheles, who offers him a deal. The pact is simple. Mephistopheles will grant Faust everything he desires in life, but in return, Faust's soul will belong to him in death. Faust, often regarded as literature's first truly modern man, agrees without hesitation. Why? Because, like the modern mind, he is unconcerned with the afterlife, hell, or eternity. He believes only in the present reality. Without a second thought, he signs the contract. From here, an extraordinary adventure begins. Mephistopheles first restores Faust's youth, transforming him from an aging scholar into a young man in his prime. Then, the two embark on a journey that is as philosophical as it's fantastical. Faust is earnest and idealistic, while Mephistopheles is cunning and sharp-tongued. Together, they create an unforgettable dynamic, reminiscent of a modern road movie duo. However, unlike a traditional road trip, they travel by flight, soaring through space and time. What do you truly seek in life? Faust's journey reminds us that knowledge alone is not enough. We must dare to experience, to feel, and to act. Over the course of the story, Faust makes 4 wishes, each of which ends in failure. The pursuit of love. Faust asks Mephistopheles to help him win the love of Margaret, a young town girl. While magic initially makes her fall for him, fate soon takes a cruel turn. Margaret's family is destroyed, and she ultimately goes mad and dies. Political power. Faust serves as a financial officer in the Holy Roman Empire, hoping to fulfill his political ambitions. But he soon realizes that the emperor and his ministers are corrupt, only using him for personal gain. Disillusioned, he abandons politics. The ideal beauty. Traveling back to ancient Greece, Faust marries Helen of Troy, the epitome of classical beauty. They have a son together, but tragedy soon follows. Both Helen and their child perish unexpectedly. The grand vision. In his old age, Faust embarks on his most ambitious project, creating a utopian land by reclaiming coastal territories and building an empire of prosperity. This colossal undertaking spans decades, yet he never completes it. On the final day of his life, Faust, now over 100 years old and blind, hears the sound of digging outside his home. Mistaking it for the progress of his great construction, he rejoices, envisioning a future where people will thrive on the land he has built. In this moment of supreme fulfillment, he collapses and dies. As Mephistopheles prepares to claim Faust's soul, he sneers, reveling in his supposed victory. That sound of digging? It was not construction, only the digging of his grave. His so-called great work ends now. But just as the devil reaches for Faust's soul, angels descend. Moved by Faust's relentless pursuit of progress, God intervenes, allowing his soul to ascend to heaven. Thus, the story ends. Faust's failures are not defeats, they are lessons. In your own life, when something doesn't go as planned, ask yourself, what did I gain from this experience? Beyond the ending, why Faust resonates. At first glance, Faust's tale may seem like a simple story of a man led astray by the devil, only to be saved by divine grace. But Goethe's purpose is far greater than this. The true essence of Faust does not lie in its ending, but in the journey itself. Faust's 4 failures might seem like mythological exaggerations, making them difficult to relate to. But when seen through the lens of real life, they take on deep emotional weight. Losing a loved one to tragedy, the crushing disillusionment of political or professional failure, the pain of losing family, the frustration of an unfinished dream. Ask yourself, if you suffered through such hardships, could you still move forward? Could you still find the strength to keep living? Faust does, and that is what makes him extraordinary. Unlike the reckless fool who blindly pursues a single dream, Faust knows when to let go. When one pursuit fails, he does not surrender to despair. Instead, he finds a new purpose. This is what defines Faust's character. He never stops seeking. He never resigns himself to comfort or complacency. In every chapter, Faust's journey ends in failure. But at the beginning of the next chapter, we see him once again, driven, passionate, and ready to pursue a new dream. This relentless spirit is what Goethe poured into Faust. Faust as Goethe's own reflection. In many ways, Faust is Goethe's self-portrait in literature. Goethe himself was a real-life Faust, one of the most intellectually insatiable figures in history. His achievements are staggering up 142 volumes of literary works, poetry, prose, novels, and plays. At 25, his novel, The Sorrows of Young Werther, made him an overnight literary sensation, admired even by Napoleon Bonaparte. At 26, he was invited to serve as chief minister to the Duke of Weimar, an experience mirrored in Faust. At 41, he published groundbreaking botanical research, influencing Darwin's evolutionary theories. At 61, he published Theory of Colors, a work that even Wittgenstein praised. He contributed to meteorology, geology, and archaeology, and even invented an early barometer. A mineral, Goethite, is named after him. Goethe never rested, never ceased exploring. Like Faust, he saw life as a relentless ascent, a Sisyphean task of pushing the rock upward again and again. His philosophy is summed up in his own words. Knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. In the end, the greatest tragedy is not failure. It is inaction. And so, 200 years later, we still read Faust, not because of its conclusion, but because of its pursuit. Goethe's Faust is not just a story of a man who makes a deal with the devil. It is the story of relentless human ambition, of the unyielding desire to seek, to strive, and to understand. In a world where we often fear failure, Faust teaches us that failure is not the end, but a step toward growth. Every dream unfulfilled is an invitation to dream anew. So ask yourself, what is your Faustian pursuit? What is that one thing you cannot stop chasing, no matter how many obstacles stand in your way? If Faust's journey resonates with you, don't just admire it, live it. Keep searching. Keep striving. Keep moving forward. Because in the end, as Goethe reminds us, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do.